This gaming PC just came in the shop because after a customer upgraded their CPU, they're getting no display out. And if you're thinking that this issue is all related to this GPU not being installed properly, you'd be wrong. Because it makes no difference if we install it properly, we still get no display. So then what's going on with this system? Well, it's pretty simple. Because if we just pull off the CPU cooler, we can see that our customer installed a Ryzen 7 5700X3D on an A320 motherboard. And although technically this motherboard and CPU are compatible with each other, as we can see on this motherboard's CPU support list, it's right there. They don't work with each other out of the box. Because, well, this CPU actually came out 7 years after this motherboard was even released. Meaning although this CPU does have backwards compatibility with this older chipset, the motherboard actually has no idea what this CPU even is, which is why it's throwing this post here. But there's a simple way to actually tell this motherboard what this CPU is. And it's called a BIOS update, a process that updates the firmware of this motherboard so it can understand that it's actually compatible with this CPU. In order to do this on this particular motherboard, because it doesn't have an easy BIOS flash function, we're gonna have to reinstall this old CPU first. So let's pull out the new one, reinstall the original Ryzen 5 1600, which allows us to boot straight into Windows. This way we can figure out what BIOS version we're gonna need, F55 or newer it looks like. So let's download that compatible version. And for gigabyte motherboards, you have to put that file on the root directory of a flash drive, which we can plug in. This way we can copy and paste the BIOS file to the root directory. Now let's just shut the system off, turn the system back on, and press delete on startup so we can enter the BIOS. And in here, we're gonna wanna click QFlash. And then if we follow the prompts to update the BIOS, select the BIOS version we wanna update to, we can click start to go from a version from 2019 all the way up to 2025. That'll actually be compatible with this Ryzen 7 5700X3D. Now that this BIOS update's complete, we can pull out the old CPU and install back our 5700X3D. And there's no way I'm putting this stock cooler on this CPU. That's just gonna overheat instantly. So instead, I installed my favorite cooler, the Arctic Freezer 36, which let me tell you, fits like a glove. And thanks to this new cooler and this BIOS update, when we go to turn the system on, the system actually posts and loads straight up in the Windows with no problems. So next time you're thinking about upgrading your CPU, make sure you check if you need a BIOS update first before doing so to avoid these issues.